Indeed, a very good morning to you for joining us here in Nairobi and across the country. I'm Marie Yambo. Social media platforms at KBC Channel 1 and at Marie Yambo on Twitter. Now on to our news of the day, and the Prime Cabinet Secretary nominee Musalia Mudavadi has defended himself over the Goldenberg scandal, saying he actually dealt with the cartels who were involved in the mega scandal in the late President Moi regime. Mudavadi, who was appearing before the National Assembly appointment committee, that is, said he took over from the Finance Ministry at the age of 33 when the scandal was full-blown, saying a judicial commission of inquiry conducted during the late President Mwai Kibaki's regime cleared him of the scandal.
Former Amani National Congress Party leader Musalia Mudavadi was the first person to appear before the National Assembly Committee on Appointments on Monday. Mudavadi, who was proving his suitability in holding the Prime Cabinet Secretary position, was put to task to explain to the panel about the land-grabbing allegations in Woodley Estate and his involvement in the Goldenberg scandal that rocked the Moi regime.
Now, I want to put it on record that to this day, we pay rent to the county government of Nairobi. At no time has that property ever been transferred. I would not be paying rent for a property that is personally mine. And therefore, I was not involved in any land grabbing whatsoever. The records are there. The issue around Anglo leasing, I want to state that that matter was canvassed in court. It was dealt with. It is behind us.
Mudavadi had a daunting task to explain why he was opposed to the implementation of the Building Bridges initiative that proposed the creation of the Prime Minister position.
But one of the key issues that led to the Waterloo of the BBI document in the courts of law was precisely that, because it was a good document mixed with some toxic aspects.
Former Speaker of the National Assembly Justin Muturi was the second to face the panel, defending his nomination to serve as the country's Attorney General. Muturi was tasked to explain to the House how he will use his position as a legal advisor to the government to ensure that the criminal justice system is not used to settle political scores.
Fair that, everybody appreciates that even though the Attorney General coordinates some of the activities within the criminal justice system, criminal prosecutions are undertaken by the DPP. And as you know, in the performance of his functions under Article 157, he is not under the direction or control of any person or authority.
The panel also wanted to know how we will ensure that cases brought to the court by the government are not lost as they happened in the previous regime.
It is not a right of government to always win cases. But I would introduce such a system. But of course, all that will only happen when there is sufficient funding to the office of the Attorney General. And this, of course, would involve not just the National Treasury, but also the National Assembly.
The question of cabinet secretaries defying court orders was also brought to the fore, with Muturi asked how he will deal with the matter. The third was Garissa Township Legislator Aiden Duale, also who was grilled on his nomination to serve as the Defense Cabinet Secretary. The cabinet sought Duale's strategy to deal with corruption in Kenya Defense Forces recruitment exercise.
KDF has been very, very hard on this. They have been sensitizing the public, telling them don't lobby, don't canvass, don't pay. And at the moment, there are about 7 officers and 16 service men and women who are facing court cases, and 4 of them have been charged. So it's a matter KDF takes it very seriously.
Duale also tasked to explain how he'll deal with the Al-Shabaab militia group that has been a thorn in the Kenyan north. Former Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua also appeared before the committee to defend his nomination as Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary. Mutua enumerating his vision and how we will deal with the critical issue of domestic workers in the Gulf region.
There's a big problem, and if I am cleared and nominated, I'm cleared and then I'm sworn in, I'm going to ensure that we work with the Labour team and the Labour Ministry to ensure there are systems in this country so that we are able to know who really needs to go overseas, how it is done. Are these girls trained? How do they get to go there? When they arrive in Saudi Arabia or other countries, do we monitor where they are, where they live?
The last to face the panel was Kandara Member of Parliament Alice Wahome, defending her suitability to head the Water, Sanitation and Irrigation Ministry.